Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Business Spotlight. I'm your host today, Todd Rodden. I'm a certified executive and business coach. I own Aspire Action Coach, based here in the Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio areas. I think you're going to love this story today. Charlie Fischer, second generation leader, coming in, leading really one of the strongest electrical contracting firms in the region, really a full service provider, and is really winning by developing the culture, but developing the talent within their organization, which is not easy when you're in the trades these days. So, if you're new to the Spotlight series, we're thrilled to have you join us. We encourage you to hit subscribe so you can receive future messages like you're going to hear today. So, without further ado, though, Charlie Fischer, who's the CEO of Craftsman Electric, we're thrilled to have you join us. Take a second. Tell us a little bit how you got started in electrical contracting and kind of how stepping into the role as CEO.
Sure. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on. Yeah, I started at Craftsman back in 2010. The company was started in 1984 by Charlie Sr. and Kay, my parents. And I was fortunate enough to join, like I said, in 2010. I had gone to Ohio State and graduated in business administration, marketing, and logistics. I came back. The job market in 2010 was a challenge. They had some they had some opportunity for me here. Very grateful for that. And throughout the last 15 years, I had gone through different departments. Working in, like I said, marketing, advertising efforts, general and administrative, and then through the service department, and eventually into the construction and worked my way to VP of construction and services, and then over the past year took over as CEO. And yeah, I mean, my career path has been a little bit of everything. I've been able to take part in various parts of the business and kind of learn, and just had the benefit of having a lot of key staff that have been here a long time, and been able to kind of develop with them and alongside them, and really enjoy it. Love this industry and love the people, and get to see kind of the fruits of our labor by getting to see these projects completed and help people with their electrical needs. So really enjoy it.
Say, Charlie, I know we were talking a little bit offline here. Maybe share a little bit some of the breadth of services, kind of who the target markets that you guys support there at Craftsman.
Sure. So over the years, yeah, we kind of have morphed over time throughout our years. So started doing a lot of gas stations when we first started as a company, and then went into restaurants and retail and big box. Eventually starting a service department to sort of support those completed construction projects. And that's grown over the years as well, to the point now where we do both residential and commercial service. We have teams that will go out to do a simple new outlet in a house, hang a ceiling fan, or do all new lighting in a warehouse facility. Then on our construction side, yeah, we continue to grow and do more and more large projects where we do large renovations, distribution warehouse facilities, still do retail, multifamily housing, and you name it as far as those projects go. So yeah, our scope kind of ranges from we have the saying goes, we can help you build the facility that builds light bulbs, or the facility or that we can put it in your house, that kind of thing from start to finish. So we're proud of it, but it does present challenges being involved in all those different spaces. So it's been a wild ride being able to grow to this point, but it does present, like I said, challenges to have the team in place to do all those number of different things.
And just from a footprint perspective, how far will you guys go to service clients?
Yeah, we're mainly in the Cincinnati tri-state area. It's about an hour radius for the most part, especially when it comes to service, just so we can have response time to get to you. But yeah, we've done projects as far as like Columbus and Lexington and Louisville, but we try to maintain around the tri-state area.
Yeah. So, given the breadth of your services, I'm curious what over the last few years, what have been your key winning strategies from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, what we've done in the construction side is just do quality work, do right by our customers, and that leads to a lot of referrals and a lot of repeat work with customers, especially with general contractors. If you do a really good job, you show up, you finish on schedule, do, like I said, quality work, they're going to want you back to do more work. So that's kind of been our main driver on our construction side. And service is a completely different animal. We started small, and over time we were, I think Angie's List Super Service Award winners like 10 to 12 years in a row. And really on the social media side, Google reviews have been huge. And again, it's more of it's a different, I guess, channel for referrals, but that's more or less what they are. It's just people saying they had a great experience, and allowing others to see that through whatever channel gives your customer base confidence to keep using you. So that's really been our main efforts. We do some radio advertising. We also do a lot of local schools. We sponsor a lot of local schools here for, whether it be athletics or bulletins. But I think word of mouth and referrals have been our main driver for business.
Interesting. So I'm curious. Hey, you talked about 15 years in the business, but in the last year or so transitioned into the CEO role. It's always a big step, especially now, hey, you're kind of the second generation leader coming in. So how's the role been different than what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, it's been a lot different. I think I compare it to when people warn you about being a parent and how it's different. It's as a when you get to a certain level, yeah, you got to think bigger picture and not so much in the day to day. And so I've been better about delegating and making sure that I am giving good, clear expectations, and not shying away from collaborating and getting a lot of opinions. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is thinking more big picture and further out, so that we're looking, we do have this much revenue coming in with these projects, but what is going to backfill that? How are we going to maintain that level of revenue? And where is our hiring needs now? And what's our plan for the near to long term future? And that's really been the biggest shift, is getting out of the day to day and thinking more long term and more strategic, which is a different skill set, and takes some time to really adapt to. But it's a fun and faster pace at times because of just how dynamic the day to day is as well. You can't get completely out of that either. So it's hard to work in and out, in and on the business at the same time. So it's been a learning curve.
Okay. You have any keys for other business owners listening, and how you keep that dedicated focus and time, again, because it's, there's always alligators kind of nipping at your legs, right? Of kind of distractions. Right.
For sure. I think what I've learned is to make sure you're maintaining some sort of prioritization on your big ticket items, and also make sure you're utilizing your people that know those items best, like making sure you're collaborating and getting a lot of inputs, because the different buckets of information that come in, you can't know everything at once. And making sure you're tapping into the people that know, whether it's, on our side of things, there's our service director, our director of construction, and it could be even our scheduler at times. They all have information that really helps feed the bigger picture. And so getting input from everyone, and then making sure that you're keeping your priorities in line on the big ticket items, so that you don't lose progress and lose your way, because it's easy to get pulled in a direction on the day to day.
For sure. Hey, thank you for sharing that. So I'm curious now. Hey, you got a long history with the business. What's been a past challenge you and the team have navigated through, and what did you learn from that?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just learning what types of jobs that we really excel at, and what types of work we really want to pursue. Um, you know, you it's easy in the trades to bid lots of work and get awarded jobs and think you're on a good path based on getting awarded a nice size job. But when you get out and you learn, hey, that's really not our bread and butter. We need to be focusing on other things. You have to be able to shift and retool and get back on track. And so that's been probably one of the biggest lessons learned. Over the years, we've fine tuned which jobs really are our target and what we're really good at. Um, yeah, and then on the other side of this is just people, just making sure you're developing people and getting them in the right spots to succeed. So, and it's hard to do. It's fast paced. When one job doesn't finish at the same time when the next one starts, it's things are overlapping, and you're having to really work through scheduling. It would be easy to lose track of trying to keep people on the right path in their careers. So that's something we've been really focusing on here lately, is getting that plan together on how we develop and invest in our training and our people, so that we're helping improve their lives and make them and put them in the best spots possible for their career.
So, hey, if you would mind, tell us a little bit more about that. What are some of the strategies you do to develop your current staff, as well as, for bringing in newer talent into the organization, especially in a market that's starved for people with skilled trades backgrounds? Right?
Yeah, it's a tough place. I mean, what we've done as of late is really try to stand up an apprenticeship committee to support our apprentices that come in. With some of them have some experience, some don't, and we're really trying to tap into what can we do to get them out on the job sites and have the best situation possible. So whether it's a crash course on the trade specific knowledge that they need to know when they're out there, it's definitely safety, specific terminology, or specific tasks that we know would be the most helpful for them right off the bat. But yeah, making sure we're supporting them in their apprenticeship program with study tables, or getting them sort of a mentor to help them through any questions they have about their initial first classes or whatever the case may be. So that's the first thing. And then, like, bigger picture is just our structure overall, so that we have the best possible organizational structure to give good pathways for and opportunities for people to move up in their careers. So those are the two big initiatives we're working on right now to try to provide opportunities. And that's really the name of the game. I mean, that was sort of one of our two founding principles, was doing quality work, making sure we're doing the best quality work possible. That's the Craftsman name. And then secondly was just a quality work experience, employee experience. Our founder, my dad, was not thrilled with how he was treated at some of the places he worked. And so this company was founded on, we want to make it a great place to work. So in order to do that, you got to give people good opportunities.
Kind of building upon that, offline we were talking about some of the apprenticeship programs and some of the connections in the community. If you mind, take a second to talk about how you're doing that to try to draw in even more talent in the future, on top of what you do to develop them once they come in as an apprentice or kind of early entry roles.
Yeah, I mean, we're really fortunate. We're members of the IEC Cincinnati chapter. It's a national organization, independent electrical contractors, and they do an excellent job with their apprenticeship program. It's, in my view, it's probably the best in the nation. But the facility and the staff, the teachers, they do a great job. I mean, it's a 4-year program, and I think this past year had 98% passing rate for the Kentucky Journeyman tests. So when they leave, when they graduate, the apprentices are ready to roll, and ready to hit the field with the knowledge that they need. So that's the biggest thing that we have in our favor, on top of like our in-house things that we do. And I'm sorry, what was your other side of that question?
Yeah, no, it was examples like the IEC or partnerships you have in the community
Oh
for
yeah,
apprenticeships and or for kind of newer talent to
yeah,
come in.
yeah. So I mean, we also work with the Great Oaks School, which they've got a number of facilities here in our area, and they have a electrical track for their students. So a lot of those students will look for co-op opportunities, and we've had a number of those work out where they'll co-op with us, and then that kind of parlays into a job offer. And actually, one of our graduates this year from the IEC was a co-op with us through the Great X program. So yeah, it's worked out great. It's a great avenue to find some talented individuals that have gone through, and we already know that they're interested in the trade, so that works out really well.
Okay, okay. So what's your vision longer term? Talk about, hey, the importance around having the right culture and that spirit of development and getting the right folks in the right seat. Longer term, though, what's your vision for the business?
Yeah, we want to make sure we're maintaining and building on the legacy and the values that we were kind of founded on, and that's really the main thing that I think I would be most proud of is if we can continue this building and growing with the same principles and values that we have and have had for the last 40 years. And like it goes back to just being a quality contractor that people enjoy working with, enjoy working for, and providing opportunities for people to have a really solid career in a trade that is going to be needed. And that's one thing that we keep an eye on is this is more than just a job. There's a real career opportunity here, and we've seen it where we've had individuals come in with no experience and end up in 4, 5, 6 years running a large project, and it's a pretty fulfilling thing to see that their hard work pay off and get to a point where they're starting families and have a real positive impact on their lives. So that's really what I'm most proud of and what I really enjoy the most is that what we do is, yeah, we do electric work, but what we really do is we provide really great jobs and great opportunities for people. And yeah, it's one of the, I think this trade is very fulfilling because you get to see the fruits of your labor. I mean, the lights come on when you flip the switch. So it's hard to find that in a lot of other trades. So
Uh,
it's a lot of fun.
okay, good. Yeah, no, very uplifting. So as you think too, Charlie, lots of our listeners are new in their entrepreneurial journey as well. So what would you share your keys to success?
Yeah, I think for me, now I wasn't shy about trying to do new things and wasn't afraid to fail on getting out of my comfort zone. Um, I think that's probably one of the best. I'd say it is the best way to learn is to fail. Not that you're setting out to do that, but when you when you try new things and get out of your comfort zone, you end up learning a lot about what you're capable of. And that's really where I've kind of learned, hey, this is an area I'm good at, or this is an area I need to work on. And uh, then I wasn't shy about asking for help and getting getting someone to mentor or somebody you can lean on for questions because that's really what's helped me is having those individuals that I've been able to ask and learn from. Again, I go back to like our people here. We have several that have been here 30 years. You know, being vulnerable and knowing like I don't know this, then I know they know, and I'm going to ask and make sure I'm asking questions so I can learn from the people that know. I think that's an attribute as a leader that's really key is being humble and understanding. You don't have to know everything, but that goes with also being willing to listen and take the advice and utilize it to help the company. So I think that's the big thing is recognize you don't have to know everything, and there's if you get the right people around you and you lead with integrity and making sure you're trying to do the right thing, normally that'll end up with good results.
Mhm. Excellent point. I think there's a trap out there, especially for folks who are newer and being in the lead kind of role. There's a sense, hey, I need to make sure I have everything together. Or whether on the inside, I surely don't. But to try to, have that false facade, that imposter syndrome that I have it all together. But no, be open to asking other people for their input and their advice, their guidance, and then being humble enough to listen and act upon it, right? So,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line between having confidence and making sure that people understand that you've got it together, but also being willing to say, look, we need we need to talk about this and get a well-rounded thought on what to do next and being willing to listen. I think it's a there's an art to
Mhm.
really understanding people and listening to what they're trying to tell you. Because as a leader, sometimes people are hesitant to do that. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially in my position is the second generation. I was coming in with kind of the same. Well, I'm junior, so it was, I think, intimidating at times for people to say what they think, and it takes time to earn their trust to say, I want you to be completely honest. Give me your full input so that we can make the right decision because we're a team. This isn't about an ego. That's a big thing you got to kind of get through.
So building upon that thread of listening, I'm curious, is there a podcast or a leadership series you listen to or a book that's been influential for you on your journey?
Yeah, for sure. Our leadership team, actually, our VP of operations recommended the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, and we've been reading it as a group and going through chapter by chapter. And there's just so many elements of that, whether it's just, you know, ego is a big topic, setting your ego aside because the mission is the most important thing. Working as a team and covering each other's backs. And there's just so many things that we've kind of discussed over the last few months and gone through that it's been very helpful. I think it's a hard thing to implement. It's a simple concept, but it's still very difficult to implement extreme ownership throughout your organization. But definitely something that we've had a lot of great takeaways and good discussions about, and
Mhm.
looking forward to keep moving through it. But I really have enjoyed it so far.
And just that spirit, that culture that you have a book club with your leadership team, right? Where it creates a forum where you're learning together and openly and sharing back and forth. So kudos, right?
Yeah, it's been great. I appreciate it though. It's been great to have these discussions because once you can do that and have some open and honest discussions about where we're at with some of these things, it's really opened our eyes to some areas that we do great or we need to work on.
So, Charlie, as we look to wrap up here, our time flies by on us. So, what are the best ways for folks to learn more about Craftsman Electric or to stay connected and to follow you guys?
Yeah, if you want to look us up at craftsmanelectric.com, Craftsman like Sears tools. um, yeah, it's MAN. That's the only thing we always get hung up on. But yeah, that, or we're on LinkedIn, trying to keep everybody informed on kind of the happenings and what we're doing around here. And we try to update on events and some projects that we're working on. And so that's been a great avenue. So those are probably the two best ways. I think we're also on Facebook. And if you ever are looking for a service project, you can always find us on just Googling us and looking at all the reviews because we got plenty of those too. So
There you go. As you said, they work, right?
they
So,
definitely do. Yeah. Yeah.
so Charlie, as we wrap up finally here, what are you inspired by today?
Um, it sounds cheesy, but I think the way that my parents built the business and the way that they kind of raised me throughout the process is inspiring to me. It was a challenge for them to get through to this point. They went through a lot of hardships to get the business to a point where it is today. And so as I'm thinking about that I have three children and trying to make sure that I'm not bringing home the stress and I'm trying to do the right thing by them. I do reflect on that, the way that they carried themselves and tried to make sure that things were, um, this happy and doing the best they could for me in my childhood. So I try to do that. And then, like I said, they did a great job of treating people right. So I think that's kind of my ethos on how I operate here, is that, that's the way it was founded. That's the way it's going to be. And we're going to do the right thing and do right by people. And that good things will come if you do that. So that's kind of my inspiration on how I operate.
All right. Great way to wrap up. I appreciate that. Charlie Fischer, CEO of Craftsman Electric. Thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and to our listeners, we appreciate you joining us again. Great story here. Second generation leader, continuing to grow the business, but really keeping that foundation, that legacy installed initially by his parents, with a lot of growth to come and a lot of focus, tremendous focus on developing the team. And you heard him share just how inspiring it also is him to see those folks grow and develop in the business and in their livelihoods as well. So, to our viewers, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you joining us and encourage you to hit that like button. That helps us share the message. And as I mentioned before, hit subscribe if you haven't already, so you can receive future inspiring messages like you heard from Charlie Fischer here today. With that, we thank you all very much. Hope you have a terrific day.